Right, hello there guys, welcome back to James Redmond TV and welcome to another match reaction where Liverpool just beat Leicester City 2-1. A very interesting game to delve into and analyse from many different perspectives. Let me know who your man of the match was. Besides FaZe, you're not allowed to choose FaZe because he was an opposition player for Liverpool. Who was your man of the match? Because I think in a performance that was very, very average. I think the standouts for me today was, of course, Thiago. I thought he was very, very solid. I think Trent has a much more better performance. I don't think it was vintage Trent or peak Trent by any means, but it was a much better performance to where the passes were more accurate, the decision making was better, defensive positioning was much better as well. And I think there was positives to be taken from both of their performance. Everybody else, however, probably subpar, similar to recent games, or just not really much difference. And what I mean by that is we're playing the very same long balls that we persisted with for weeks. Somebody asked me a question in the live watch along that I done earlier. James, what's the main problem with the team? Is it the high line? Now, bear in mind, the high line was doing really well for us last season, where it was literally catching teams offside every single game. Very efficient in a tactical manner, and no one could seem to stop it. This season, it's caught us off guard a little bit more. But let's identify why it's catching us off guard. Is it because the high line is being figured out? Even though every single team last year, the year before, and the year before that knew we were going to play that same high line? Or is it maybe the quality and the persistence of these constant long balls? And what I mean is, Liverpool have always played long balls, but for instance, in the league winning season, 2021 season, COVID champions, yeah, get your comments in. That was the same season where we would always alternate between the 4-3-3 and the 4-2-3-1. And that was where Origi would come on and we play the 4-2-3-1, and that would work very efficiently for Liverpool that season. What we're not seeing enough of this season, sometimes we'll transition into the back three. We'll see a little bit more solidity at the back line, but we're always conceding that first goal first, which means a team like Leicester, which was exactly their objective, by the way, are now going to be compact, opposed to taking the odd little risk to get a goal here and there and try and win the game. Because let's be honest, Leicester City, if you tell Brendan Rodgers before the game, do you want a point, he'll bite your hands off for a point based on where they are in the league, the 13th. Point at Anfield would be a very, very solid one if he was able to get it. Now, on a tactical basis, Liverpool were outbeat on every single level. Leicester City complete the objective of getting the goal first. They then complete the objective by defending absolutely perfectly. And I'm not saying that it was the greatest defensive performance I've ever seen, but they defended perfectly because Liverpool weren't getting big chances. We weren't exposing the defence. And even the 2 goals that we got were off the back of a little bit of luck, which in the Premier League you need sometimes, and believe me, I am very, very happy about that. But the only reason where I struggle coming out of this game is that it doesn't give me any more confidence for Brentford, who also won tonight. It doesn't give me any more confidence for Chelsea, who also won tonight. Let me just check my battery because I know I'm low, so I need to round this up in a minute. But the point is that we've got tough games ahead. We've won the last 2 games, thankfully. But I'm still seeing Núñez miss one-on-one chances, and I know we've got a little bit of a debate on this channel. You know, James, why do you always talk about Núñez? It's kind of because he's getting the most chances in a game, and he's missing. Now, granted, Salah also missed big chances today, and I was fuming when he missed those chances, because for Salah's standards, he should be putting them away. But then Núñez is very much also an issue, because people are saying, oh, but look at the amount of chaos he's creating. But then you'll look back at Timo Werner and say he was not good enough, or I'm happy we never signed Timo Werner. I'm just saying that the energy would not be kept the same if it was for another club. If Núñez was doing this for Manchester United, you would all be laughing in his face and would not be thinking, I wish we signed Núñez. You wouldn't. But because he's wearing the Liverpool red shirt, you still believe for some reason that he's going to be this next Lewandowski or the next Erling Haaland, when there's no proof or substance to suggest that's going to happen, because Erling Haaland can be given 2 or 3 chances in a game and he can score one of those. I like those odds. Robert Lewandowski, very similar. Give him 4 chances, fuck it. Give him 5 chances in 9 minutes and he'll get you 5 goals. I like those odds. I do not like the odds of giving a player 15 to 20 chances and him possibly scoring 1 or 2 of those goals. Now listen, this is based off of the standards that I've set for this football club growing up as a child. I remember in high school where I was comparing our players to Everton players. Me and Everton fans were doing combined 11s, and eventually we got a lovely German manager called Jurgen Klopp who changed everything to where we competed for trophies, leagues, Champions Leagues. And the longer that we persist with someone like Darwin Núñez missing chances, bear in mind he's not the only player who's at fault. But the longer that we persist with this is the longer that we persist with mediocrity, because if this was at another club, we would all be laughing. And if you believe any otherwise, then that is just you with your Liverpool shades on. It's something that I've learned to be able to take off. And somebody said in my stream before, negativity is an illness. Well, honesty is a gift. And I honestly believe when I see Núñez perform, if I say anything else other than what I'm saying, I would be lying to my audience, which is a disservice to my audience who tune into this channel on a week-to-week basis. But now I'm going to stop talking about Núñez, because I don't, again, it's kind of like a brotherly thing. I'm going to keep telling you why I don't think he's that good, and you're going to keep telling me, oh, he's going to be great in time. Let's see who's right, but I know I've been right so far from the very same opinion that I've held against him from when he first joined the club. So you can say that I'm going to be wrong, but you can't say I'm wrong right now, because he's not doing good enough. Salah, not doing good enough. I cannot wait for GAKPO to finally get a chance in this team and spark a new life of energy. There was a reason why we went and got Jota, Diaz and GAKPO all in recent time, because Klopp knows that we need to improve this front three. Klopp knows that regardless of Núñez and this, that and the other and 85 million, he is probably not going to be the man to carry us back to league titles and Champions Leagues, which FSG have clearly shown an ambition of wanting to do that recently. They should have done it after when we won all those trophies, but better late than never, and now they're putting the investment side of things in as well. I'm just waiting to see until Núñez really kicks in, and I don't think he's going to be a part of the main front three when all these players come back and they're fit. But yes, he's a threat, and yes, he's these things, and yes, he can be useful off the bench. He can have a place in this Liverpool squad. It's just everyone who's thinking he's going to be the next striker. If you're telling me Torres couldn't win us a league, Suarez couldn't win us a league, who else? Michael Owen couldn't win us a league, Daniel Sturridge couldn't win us a league, and you're saying Darwin Núñez will, that's where I struggle to suggest that could be the case, but that's just me. Salah played shit, midfield was very crap, Henderson was terrible, he was the worst player today, but it's because Núñez is the biggest debate on this channel, so there's the most questions I've got to answer, hence why I talk about him. Jordan Henderson's one of those today, I appreciate the knowledge he brings, but it's just not good enough today. And then defensively, Virgil van Dijk and Matip had a very average game. Alisson was as great as ever, and we won 2-1. But now we need to go and beat Brentford and Chelsea, and I'm not so confident based on what I've seen today. But of course, smash a like because we did get the win, or smash a dislike if you really hate me because of my opinions on Darwin Núñez. But just know it's not an agenda. I'd rather you don't like me for my opinions than believe I'm just saying them for no reason. I truly believe what I'm saying. I'm open to being proven wrong. I've had nothing to prove me wrong in the first 3 games since coming back from the World Cup. That's just the honesty. So the opinion will be maintained, the same opinion that I've had since before the season. But just remember, I did call Henderson out, and I also called Salah out. I called the centre-backs out. I'm just not calling them out as much, because you guys know they've been shit as well, but you're still making excuses for Núñez, when you wouldn't do that if he was at another team. Anyway, going to leave it there. I'm getting a bit fuming now, but that's only because of me. I work myself up all the time. I love every single one of you. We're always going to have these little brothership debates and whatever have you. Either way, love to all your mothers, and I will see you in a bit. Up the Reds.